7, 25, 26.
We are living in a surveillance state where basically almost everything you do is trackable.
He's not a king. The freedom of our press and the role of the courts are essential to our democracy.
Remember, people that abuse their authority are guilty of treason.
Speak your mind. Call in live. This is your show on right now. This is Fox News Talk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fox News Talk. I'm Kat Timpf. We're going to be talking about so much stuff today. We got Jeff Flake stuff. We have, of course, the Russian dossier stuff, Amazon locks, all kinds of cool things. It's going to be such a great time. We're not going to know what to do with ourselves. We're having so much fun. We're going to have Andrew Schultz and Sam Morrell coming in later. Right now, we have comedian Joe DeVito. And hey, Joe. And we also have Tom Shillue.
Wow.
We have Tom Shillue. I thought that they might want a little break because they just heard from you for 3 hours. So I gave him like a 30-second break from Tom.
You know, people just, they tune in, they tune out, they tune into Fox News Talk. I hope they listen to my show, the Tom Shillue Show, every day.
Yeah, every day. I do. Yeah. Always. I never
stop. It's great
stop.
Radio.
And then,
you know what, though? I feel bad because you just said dossier.
Dossier.
I didn't know that's how you say it. I was saying...
I'm not entirely sure how to say it.
Dossier. I was saying it all day. Dossier.
Dishwa.
I seemed like an idiot now. 3 hours of radio down the drain.
It's okay. It's all right. You know, you having a good fall? Ever excited for Halloween? You having a good time?
It is so... It's so nice in the fall when the weather gets like this. I go out in the morning and it's crisp and cool. I go out with my pot of coffee and I sit there.
Pot of coffee, wilding out.
Yeah.
With this pot of Sanka.
No, I make a little coffee. Just sitting out in the. It's just a little too cold to be sitting out in shorts in the morning, but I do it anyway. I love it.
That's an image. What are your kids going to be for Halloween? Anything racist or? It's hard these days. I was Pocahontas when I was little, and now I shouldn't have even said that just now.
I know. Just saying it. You know what? It's funny. You could go as Pocahontas, but you could just kind of put your hair up in a bun, and you could just be Elizabeth Warren.
There you go.
And that would be very politically incorrect as well.
The Pocahontas costume. Nice.
Are you a Halloween guy at all?
No. Actually, I always try to schedule things so I won't be home for when the children come by.
Oh, that's good.
Try to take my candy.
That's good. That's a very clean record there. No kids anywhere ever.
It's actually a lot of it's court ordered.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Are you in a building, Joe?
I'm in an apartment complex, but yeah, the kids don't really come by. But they see, you know what kids are like. They see a light on and it's like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Smash in to get a candy.
Yeah. Well, our building has. They go around. They go from door to door, and somebody in my co-op delivers these ribbons to the doors. And if you want to participate in Halloween, you put the ribbon on your door. So it makes it easy for the kids. They go around and they knock on all the doors that have ribbons, trick or treat. Pretty good, right?
You can ding-dong ditch the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I got chased by a lady down the street for ding-dong ditching her once. She said she was going to call the cops. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's not a criminal charge. I think they throw kids in juvie for that.
Ding-dong ditch it. Or did you just call ding-dong ditch?
Yeah.
Ding-dong
ditch.
We called it ding-dong ditch it.
Ding-dong, that's an extra syllable. Tom.
I bet you that Joe has a different name for it. Because
we called it breaking an entry.
There you go.
We were coming in through the windows, so.
There you go.
Because I went to my cousin's one time, and it was Ding Dong Ditch It was what I thought was the universal game of ringing the doorbell and running away. Ding Dong Ditch It. And then my cousin said, I said, hey, you want to play Ding Dong Ditch It? And they were like, Ding Dong Ditch It.
They never heard of it.
It's called Ring and Run, brother.
Ring and Run. I've never heard of that either.
It's called Dine and Dash, you animal.
Well, we have a lot of news today. Trump's favorite news story of the day is probably this Russian dossier. Turns out that the Clinton campaign had a lot to do with it. They paid for it, and they'd been denying it. Can we play the clip of the president addressing that clip number 2, please?
Don't forget, Hillary Clinton totally denied this. She didn't know anything. She knew nothing. All of a sudden it found out. What I was amazed at, it's almost $6 million that they paid, and it's totally discredited. It's a total phony. I call it fake news. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
See, Joe, I don't understand. People pay for opposition research all the time. Not a big deal. This dossier was a little strange, obviously. It was up there in the stranger things I've ever read in my life, which is saying something. But why lie?
That's what she does. That's her default setting. But it shows what how she has no instincts, no political instincts. There's no way Bill Clinton would have screwed this up. But you can't keep crowing about someone's been infected with the Russian virus and he's Putin's stooge and making any contact with the Russians seem like, oh, this was collusion. While you're not quite doing the same thing, but Trump is so good at this. He'll stake out a position that's maybe 150% of the truth. But then when everyone says you're a liar and you're an idiot, it dials back to around 98% of the truth. So you think well, he still was kind of right about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is she just the kind of lady if she has granola for breakfast and people say, what did you have for breakfast? And she just says she has yogurt, Tom, for no reason?
Well, depending on that if yogurt is more if it's going to garner her more votes.
Right.
What was that thing that she would do? She had
the hot sauce.
She had that. Yeah, she walked around with hot sauce.
I don't believe she really did that. First of all, I don't think she's carrying her own bag.
But didn't she pull it out? She was on a radio show. Was that Charlemagne the God? Was that the show she was on?
I think so.
So she was on an ethnic kind of, she was around some other, some black folks or whatever. And they said, what's something about you? And I don't even think they asked about food or anything. They said, tell us something, about you that they don't know. And she was like, oh, I just carry barbecue sauce wherever I go. And she starts pulling out the sauce.
Hot sauce, yeah.
You know which one
weird.
really made me want to jump off a building was the Pokemon go to the polls. That joke, because she didn't even write that joke, right? She had probably had someone do it for her. When everyone was playing Pokemon Go, and she's like, how about you Pokemon go to the polls? Yeah. That was real cringeworthy, because, listen, you're not playing Pokemon, okay? And you shouldn't be.
She doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. No. She sometimes sounds like she's learned English phonetically from watching TV shows, like she came here from another planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where my personal favorite was, she didn't say this, but her campaign, how Hillary Clinton is like your abuela. And all these reasons why she's like your elderly Hispanic grandmother. Really? But I thought the hot sauce was a stretch.
Yeah, certainly not. If you have to have a team of people trying to make you seem like a person, then it's probably not working out for you very well. Just be a person.
Yeah, well, she is unable to do that. And of course, we know why the hot sauce was in her purse. It's to throw in Bill's eyes when he gets frisky. So it's an alternative pepper
there
spray.
There you
go. It's a little capsaicin
pepper spray, yeah.
But again, this doesn't, though, Tom. This wasn't the whole reason there was this special investigation. This wasn't like a damning piece of evidence against the president. And kind of what Joe's bringing up, he's making it seem like it completely exonerates him from any wrongdoing. It's not that. It's just more that this is added on to her wrongdoing now.
Yes, and it makes it, this guy Fallon came out today, Brian Fallon, who was, communications director for Hillary Clinton's campaign, and he said, "Yeah, of course we did this. I'm not ashamed of that." He said, "You could sue me for malpractice if I didn't pay for this information. Of course, we want opposition research." So he was very proud about it. So I think they're trying to set up this thing of like, we were just doing what you do in a campaign, and but we didn't collude. There was no collusion with the Russians. That's what Trump is. The thing is, though, I do think that, I think that the Russian thing has been silly from the beginning, because I don't think Trump. He wasn't organized. He can't collude with anyone. He can't even collude with, like, Reince Priebus, right? He can't collude. He can't do it. So there's no collusion, I think. And so I think he was wise to say from the beginning, this is fake, this is fake. And were you saying, Joe, that he kind of...
That email with his son is pretty bad. Is his son just dumb? And when he says his son's a good boy, it's like his son is older than I am. He's an older man. He's an adult man.
Yeah.
And if I ever got an email from someone being like, all right, I'm from the government of Russia, and I'm going to collude, I want to collude with you, I'd be like, hey, maybe I should talk to somebody about this. I wouldn't be like, dope, meet you at 6.
You know what's so funny?
Drinkies.
On my show today, I said, hey, if my dad was running for office and I was like involved in his campaign and somebody sent me an email and says I have dirt on Clinton, I'd be like, yeah, come on, let's.
But you would tell your dad,
Let's
and he maintains he didn't tell his dad.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't been approached by the Russians. And it's hurtful. Well, Tom, what I meant by that is it reminds me of when he said the Obama administration had wiretapped Trump Tower.
Yes.
And people were like, that's crazy. There's nothing like... Well, it turns out there was a little bit of surveillance going on. So he took that overstated position, but by the time you walked it back, at least he raised the issue.
And he also said it wasn't... The New York Times treated him as if he said there were wiretaps on the lines of Trump Tower, when actually he tweeted out, "Looks like I had my, quote, wires tapped." So it seemed like
it could mean anything.
Yeah, it seemed like a little bit of a expression
nitpicky.
To begin with, yes.
Yeah.
Do you mind the tweets? I know you're a Trump guy, Tom. You're a Trump guy.
I think Trump is hilarious, and I think that he is, I don't really know, politically speaking, I don't know exactly what, outside of the wall, the big issues that he stands for, like the immigration, whatever. Outside of the big issues, I'm not really sure politically where he is, and I'm not sure where if he is at all either. But the whole idea of Trump, I do love. And the thing is, the things people hate most about him, or the things the Republicans hate, like he's got to stop tweeting, he's got to stop being like starting fights. That's to me my favorite part of it. I do love that politics, because I do believe that politics is it's phony. It's a phony game.
Of course it is.
Nobody's nice. Nobody's genteel. And leave that to the British, the right honorable gentlemen. I think that's great. I love the Prime Minister's questions. But this idea of, like, we're all friends and, like, in, the old days, Tip O'Neill used to, slap the back of Ronald Reagan. Like, I don't buy any of it. These guys don't like each other. They never did. I like the blood sport. I love the fighting. I love the insults. And I don't think there's anything particularly immature about the way, compared to the rest of the political world, when you have people in Congress like, Maxine Waters or even Charles Schumer, I don't think Trump is that much more immature than them.
I don't know about that.
Well, listen, look at the people who complain about him the most, okay?
I think that they're immature, but they're classier about being immature. They're more passive-aggressive about it.
Well, what about who's the guy, not Flake, but the other guy who has been fighting with Trump?
Corker.
Corker is like, the discourse is so low or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's the one with the dumb hashtag about, like, daycare.
I agree that Corker is also... Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, they're getting, it's a dose of their own medicine. And I think people who don't get Trump or Trump supporters, they don't understand that, because they want to say, well, if you must be racist, you must be this, you must be a white nationalist. No. I think a lot of people react positively to Trump because he's brought all these things out into the open that now we're forced to acknowledge them and to deal with them. Because the truth is, you had a lot of people...
Yeah, it's way out there now.
Well, the system used to work that you were a guy who went to Washington and somehow left rich. And now we have a guy who started out rich and went to Washington. Mm-hmm. He's completely flipped that system. So he doesn't need... These other people have to participate in it because they're leeches. They need to extract that's why they got into this. Mm-hmm. And he is playing... I know he says crazy stuff. There are times where he says things where I think, he didn't have to do that.
Kafifi? He had to do that.
But that's so beautiful the way he did that. When the press is so idiotic that whenever he wants to get something done, all he has to do is throw out Kafifi and they'll go talk about that, and then you turn around and, look, he just deregulated something.
Yeah, absolutely. I should do that in my own life a little bit, just distract people like with little shiny objects. All right, we have to take a quick break. Call in. We want to hear from you. I really want to know how you guys are doing and what you're thinking. 877-367-2526. Fox News Talk. We'll be right back.
Listen, learn, and be a part of the conversation at 877-367-2526. This is Fox News Talk. More next.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over 10 new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-611-5153. That's 800-611-5153. 800-611-5153.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventors information, call 1-800-359-7341. That's 1-800-359-7341. Again, 1-800-359-7341.
Take an ordinary putty knife and scrape off the old wax ring. Place the new wax ring over the flange, then line up the bolts with the bowl and gently set in place, making sure a proper seal is created with the flange and drain. Next.
Dad?
Yeah, sweetie.
Is that an old plumbing manual?
Oh, yeah, honey.
We really need to get some new books.
Right, do you want me to stop?
Nah, I kind of want to know how it ends.
Okay. Tighten the bolts, line up the flushing valve to the opening in the top of the bowl, and secure the tank with a screwdriver and crescent wrench.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Fox News Talk presents
Political Pop.
Written 6 weeks after the events of 9/11, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning was Alan Jackson's attempt to get his thoughts and emotions about that tragic day out of his head and onto paper. Each verse focuses on others' reactions in the form of questions, while the chorus sums up Jackson's own feelings. Jackson said he didn't want the song to be patriotic or vengeful, but rather to document how he and others felt that day.
Music with a meaning
That made a difference.
from Fox News Talk.
You've heard me talk all about the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company. We're the specialists when it comes to providing affordable health insurance to those of us that are self-employed or run a small business. But have you called us yet? Maybe you haven't needed health insurance. Maybe you had it where you work, but now you're off on your own. You started your own business, and now you realize how challenging it is to find affordable health insurance. Well, you can count on the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company to provide affordable health insurance to folks just like you and I, small business owners and the self-employed. Call right now and get yourself an affordable quote. The call is free. Here's the number. 866-500-MEGA. 866-500-MEGA. Toll free 866-500-MEGA. For affordable health insurance, call now. Home Office, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Association membership requirements vary by state. Not available in all states.
Hello. Hey, guys. How are ya?
Cat.
Oh, hey. And Joe's here. Joe DeVito, comedian Joe DeVito. And then that was what you just heard, Tom Shillue. And it could be you, too. Yeah, that's right. You could be on the radio. You have to call in, though, 877-367-2526. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know how you feel about, things that have to do with what we're talking about on the show, not in general, although I do care how you're feeling in general. Feelings are important. But we were talking about how President Trump handles conflict and a little bit of the GOP infighting. And, of course, yesterday, Jeff Flake announced he wouldn't be running for re-election because of Trump. He could have just said that. Said everything he said. And today, Trump responded. Can we get clip 8, please?
He was against me from before he ever knew me. He wrote a book about me before I ever met him, before I ever heard his name. His poll numbers in Arizona are so low that he couldn't win. And I don't blame him for leaving. I think he did the right thing for himself. But if you know, long before he ever knew me, during the campaign, even before the campaign. He came out with his horrible book, and I said, "Who is this guy?"
Horrible book. Who is this guy? Is like par for the course.
Yeah.
If I could have invented it.
But a perfect response, I think. It's classic.
Covered all the bases.
Yeah.
Trump is very into how your ratings and your poll results. He likes your numbers are down. That's what he's telling you.
And Flake, he's right about Flake. Flake didn't tell even his staff about the book. He said he wrote the book in secret because he knew they would advise him against it because he knew that it would not turn out well for him politically. I don't know if I buy the Jeff Flake argument. You saw the speech he gave yesterday.
Yes.
And essentially he said it's about civility, the discourse, the bars have been lowered, etc. But he also said, when he originally said he wasn't running again, he mentioned two big issues. He says, I cannot in good conscience support policies that I don't agree with, like immigration and the trade issues. I think it's a political thing, basically. He is a Republican who doesn't like the direction of the Republican Party, and he should stop this nonsense about the civility, whatever, because I don't believe it.
I just don't. I don't believe it either for a different reason. I think that he just was sick of being called Jeff Snowflake all day long on Twitter,
Yes.
and he was like, either I can be called this for a little more, or I can quit and be called it for a lot for a little bit, and then it'll go away. Because if he really cared about the things he was saying he was caring about, Joe, you think he'd want to stand and fight.
Well, I think what a lot of the more establishment Republicans are going to do is they're going to try and disappear for a while under the premise that I'm going to wait this out. And then I'm going to come back when I'm no longer associated with such a polarizing person. I don't think that's going to work. I still
Why
think,
not?
because I still think they don't get what makes Trump popular. And it's as much a reaction to the Republicans as it is to the Democrats.
Absolutely.
I mean, he didn't just beat Hillary Clinton, the Democrats. He when he won, he beat the Republican establishment, he beat the Democrats, he beat the media, he beat the entire system. So, Jeff Flake, all right, goodbye.
But they're still not getting anything done, Tom.
Well,
they got to get something done. That Obamacare,
I don't
it's
know.
a real bummer.
I don't know if they do because if you agree that there has in the consensus of like the 51% or something, but Trump doesn't believe in that, and I don't think he thinks it matters. Time will tell if he's right, but 40% of the country does not believe we need to get things done, or they wouldn't have become complete Trumpophiles. You know, they're completely in the camp of Trump. All right, they want to sacrifice a lot of issues for a couple of things that are important to them. Immigration's one. I think the trade, the globalization is another. They don't believe that the Republican Party of the Mitt Romneys and things like that had their back. So they're willing to say, like, no, I don't even care about your dumb little legislation. I just want to occupy this space of the person who is just like, is just rallying about immigration and trade. I want to turn the tide on the globalization of the country. That's what they care about.
I think that's true for some people. I think for most of his base is true, but his numbers have been down, so we'll have to see. Maybe they can get tax reform. All right, we're going on a quick break. Call in, guys, 877-367-2526. It'll be so much fun if you do.
One in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by cleaning with soap and water as you go. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Computer security threats such as spam, spyware, viruses, and hackers invade your business every day through email, instant messaging, web browsing, and your company's website. With no software to install and no per-user license fees, Barracuda Networks firewalls are easy to set up and affordable. Do what 50,000 other companies have done. Reclaim your network with a Barracuda Networks firewall. For a free evaluation unit, call Barracuda Networks, 888-ANTI-SPAM, 888-ANTI-SPAM, or go online to barracuda.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude,
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The following is an OnStar conversation.
OnStar Emergency, this is Dean.
Yes, I lost my purse, but the keys in my car.
Well, that's okay. We can get that unlocked for you. Can I get your PIN number?
Okay, it's 063.
OnStar can send a signal to unlock your doors in most cases.
The reason why I need to get in my car is because I'm on my way to work.
Now, I have gone ahead and I've sent the signal out to your vehicle.
Okay.
The peace of mind OnStar offers is more affordable than you might think.
I have some good news. It just unlocked.
It did?
It did.
So can I try?
Go ahead.
Ah, it's open.
Wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. You just saved my job.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Have a great night.
The first year of OnStar service is included on new OnStar-equipped GM vehicles, and unlimited use of all safety and security services costs only $16.95 plus tax per month after that. To experience OnStar, press your blue button or visit OnStar.com. OnStar by GM.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fox News Talk. I'm Kat Timpf. I'm here with Joe DeVito. Say what up, Joe.
Hey, Kat.
And you can call in at 877-367-2526 if you want to join the conversation yourself. We're going to go right now to Andrea in Salt Lake City. Andrea, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Kat?
Pretty good.
And hello to the other two-thirds of you again this afternoon. Yeah, my point was going to be, as far as the Republican establishment goes, I kind of had an epiphany. It was in March of 2016 that Romney came to campus here in Salt Lake City to give his speech against Trump. And I remember I had a flashback to the 2012 election, and he never viciously attacked any of his political opponents when he was running. And here he was attacking Trump, a member of his own party. And I just thought the establishment just seemed to be political rhetoric machines. Their words just don't translate into action. So I lost all sympathy for them that day.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's the thing. I think that they did a very bad job, Joe, I would say, of actioning the GOP establishment. But right now, I also think that some of this rhetoric is hurting things also, because they're not getting anything done now either. They just seem to be bad at getting things done.
Yeah, and I think Trump has exposed that. And he's in a good position because he's not of that system. The more they flail around, he doesn't have to take the blame for that. That's on them, and I think that's again another one of the reasons for his appeal.
All right, let's go to Doug in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, Katherine, how are you?
Pretty good.
Well, I have to agree with Tom. I mean, you were saying that we're not getting anything done. I don't think Trump cares whether we get things done.
I'd agree with you there, Doug.
Well, but it's not because of the way you're thinking. He wants to get things done, but he is going to take the swamp down before he gets his agenda passed. And he doesn't care how everybody wants him to be and how everybody thinks he should be governing. He is his own man, and that's why we elected him. And we may be 38%, I guess, from the little poll, and I don't believe in polls.
Little poll. You kind of talk like him too, Doug.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the polls didn't work when they said Hillary was a landslide. So what I'm saying is that Trump is, he doesn't care about the polls. Us Trumpians, we don't care about the polls. We want the government to be taken down. And if you look at what's going on right now with the uranium piece and everything else, we basically are uncovering the corrupt government that we have, and Trump's just letting it unfold like peeling an onion.
You know, I'm a libertarian, Joe, so I like to see the establishment-y of anything getting taken down, right? I've never been comfortable in this two-party dichotomy ever, and I didn't vote for either major party in this election either, even though Trump is certainly not a traditional Republican. But again, you talk about results, my taxes are still the same. I don't know if I really think tax reform is even going to get done.
Well, I like the idea in principle of the government getting very little done. I do too. The more they do, the more harm they can do. The problem is we've now let the government be in charge of so many different aspects of our lives. There's no way to get around it. So, yeah, I agree with the caller, Doug, there that we let it burn. Let it burn. We have to start over. Yeah. And that's why it had to be someone who came out of neither of the parties like that. And it's the Trump phenomenon. Now looking back, you can see, oh, because this happened, now we have Donald Trump. Because we had Obama flexing his executive muscles, now we see what that leads to. So it all sort of making sense in retrospect. But yeah, I don't think Trump doesn't care about the Republican Party because he's not a regular Republican.
No, he absolutely doesn't. All right, we're going to take one more call here. Steve from Clearwater.
Hi, Kat. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good. I was calling because I agree with absolutely everything every caller has said so far. The swamp has to be taken down before the agenda can be put into place. I'm in Clearwater, and I remember 2 years ago when Rep. David Jolly, freshman Rep. David Jolly, came out and said Trump needs to drop out of this primary. And I'm a vet. For 8 years, we watched establishment Republicans sit and enable Barack Obama to leave us behind and forget about us. And if Jeff Flake and the other guy, Corker, want any kind of a record to look at, they should look at what happened to David Jolly, because Trump won his district as a Republican, and Jolly lost our district as a Republican because of what he did.
So this is interesting, Joe, because I agree that people who are anti-Trump Republicans would probably lose. And I think that Jeff Flake knew that. But, you know, Jeff Flake voted with Trump most of the time. He agrees with him on most of these issues. It was just the rhetoric that he didn't agree with.
Well, I think it goes beyond. I think this goes to what a lot of the callers are saying, but we're talking about a system here. So when Andrea called earlier and talked about seeing Mitt Romney has an interest in the system perpetuating itself.
Absolutely.
So when you talk about Republicans and Democrats, yeah, they're still playing the same game. Different teams, but the same game. And then, yeah, I guess we do need Trump to come in and bust things up, because it really has exposed. I guess if you think the Republicans and the Democrats were the only choice you had was business as usual, you sort of accepted it. But now that this has cracked it open,
I feel like I can run for president.
Yeah, you feel like there's no limits to it anymore.
Yeah.
It's in a way, it's a freedom, terrible freedom. You know, it's exhilarating but terrifying.
The only question is, I would like to see them get something done. I get that his base doesn't care. His base just is like, awesome, Jeff Flake quit.
Yeah, because
Snowflake quit.
One thing I'll say about Trump is that he pisses off people I like seeing get angered. I mean, I know it's a juvenile way to look at it, but sometimes he'll nail someone in a tweet, and you're like, oh, that was a sick burn. Yeah. Now, then you have to remember he's the president of the United States. Maybe he should not be doing that, but and again, I wish people who have these unrealistic negative opinions of Trump voters would hear what the callers calling in are saying. They're not calling in and saying that they're white supremacists and they're anti-women and all that. No. That's just something people who hate Trump are they're saying that to make themselves feel better. These are people who got tired of the way America has been working, because it wasn't working for them and it wasn't working for most people. It was a rigged game.
And I think and people get sick of someone like Hillary Clinton, who is just so much scandal. Yeah. Just so much scandal all over the place. Her whole family is basically a crime family. I think that we can agree with that. We can just looking at it. But she gets away with everything. She gets away with everything because she's connected. And it's like that one kid in your class who his mom is the lunch lady, right? And like he can get away with whatever he wants because his mom's the lunch lady, and you just get mad, and you want to see an underdog, beat that kid at something. And I think that was the kind of anger on a larger scale that a lot of people were feeling, that it didn't really matter who it was.
Yeah, and again, it shows you how bad the system was, that the underdog had to be a billionaire real estate
underdog,
magnate.
right?
But if the Clintons definitely a crime family. I mean, I think I call them the hillbilly Borgias. That the way, and if it's you want to compare it to the Godfather, eventually they had to run Fredo, and that's who Hillary Clinton was.
We're gonna take a caller on this actually, Michael in San Jose.
Yes. Hi, Kat. Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm fuming about the trailer trash Clintons. I mean, no matter what Sessions comes up with, okay, no matter how much probable cause he has, if they go in front of Congress, okay, they don't have any arrest powers whatsoever. And if they do get arrested, let's say, okay, what are they going to do with them? Where are they going to put them? They're not going to spend one day in jail.
No, and honestly though, Joe, for me, I don't really care if she goes to jail or not. I just want to know the truth about stuff.
It would be worth it to just get her out, get her away. Go away already, enough. Although I think Bill would take a deal to go to a women's prison.
He very, very well may. He very well may. Because, I just want to know the truth. I feel like the government lies to me all the time because they do. Because they do lie to me all the time. I want to see the documents. Show me the receipts. I want to know what's really happening. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I want to see, how did you people become rich? By peddling influence.
Right.
It's interesting. I felt like this in the run-up to the election, that people who said, well, Hillary lies, and there are people who said, well, Trump lies too, and they both have odd relationships with the truth.
Yes, of course.
But Hillary lied in a very traditional way. She knew what the truth was. She didn't want you to know it, so she said the opposite. Whereas Trump will say something and then moments later say the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And seems to believe himself both times.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, in a way, it was, you almost thought, is that even a lie anymore? I don't even know what he's trying to do. But with Hillary, you knew. It was just one cover-up after another, and she's so disingenuous.
And then the mainstream media doesn't attack Hillary Clinton on her lies. I was watching this morning, actually, CNN, when they were talking about the dossier and how Hillary, they're like, yeah, well, I guess they lied and that's never good. But, this isn't what the investigation's really about. And it's like, okay, no, it's not really what the investigation is about. But to see you being so flippant about the lying proves to me that whenever Trump does lie or has misrepresented the truth, or however you want to put it, you're not really mad about that. Because I'm someone who will call them out equally. I'll say, hey, that wasn't good, because I just genuinely don't like being lied to. And that's so crazy?
No, and we don't have to accept that. And I think we found, a lot of Americans found this was some other way, that we don't have to put up with that. Because, well, I think the media also, we see that they have this relationship with the power structure. And with Hillary, you're going to say it's not important now? Who was telling us all this time that it was important? They want to freak out over Trump's overstating something as opposed to Hillary Clinton's blatant lying about something. So, I said earlier, Trump will say 150% of something and then walk you back to around 100%. Yeah, that makes sense. We need someone to do that. No one was talking about immigration until he was. No one was talking about protecting us from terrorism until he was. Does he overstate things? Does he cross a line? Sure. But when he brings us back, he takes us to a place where a lot of people feel like he's addressing what's on their minds.
And my whole thing is this issue with consistency, right? Because my main issue with Trump, Russia, and this wasn't even necessarily Donald Trump, just more Don Jr. or campaign people, the story's changing about the meetings. There were never any meetings. Okay, there was this meeting, it was about adoption. Okay, but then I thought it was about Hillary. So whenever stories are changing, I'm going to ask questions. And that's what I always said. And people on the left agreed with me about that. But then people on the right would get very mad. But then now we have Hillary's campaign blatantly having lied about this. Just blatantly bold-faced, had nothing to do with this, but then they paid for it. So I'm saying the same thing again. Okay, when I have stories changing, I'm going to be asking questions. And now people on the left are saying, yeah, well, but whatever. When they were saying, how could you just, it's like, do you listen to yourself talk?
Well, there's no consistency to it. Because you look at, okay, Trump and his family and the business contacts with Russia, those looked bad. But it appears what Hillary did was bad.
Yeah.
And the media likes to talk about what looks bad for Trump. They always try to say he's embarrassing and that he's out of line because they want him to play by the existing rules. They like that when he does things that look bad. They don't have the propriety to them. Whereas when the Clintons commit what are much closer to an actual conscious crime, oh, well, then they don't want to talk about that as much. Yeah, people are rejecting that. We don't. Well, that Band-Aid's been pulled off, and you can't put it back on.
Yeah, and I personally do have some issues with the way Trump conducts himself. I wish that he wouldn't.
He's sloppy.
But at the same time, I just can't stand the way that this is being treated versus how they were treating when we were talking about the Donald Jr. meetings. And that was the son of the president. And I get that Hillary's not the president, but she was the candidate at the time. And they're that's the person who they wanted to be the president. And they're saying, oh, it's no big deal, even though there's a lie. I think lying when it's someone who has power over you or, is running to be someone who has power over you, that should matter. And the only way that people get away with this is because people on their side will kind of explain it away. And I think that we, the people, lose when that happens.
Yeah, especially with someone like Hillary, who's so craven in the pursuit of power that she would say anything and do anything. Whereas with Trump, hey, a lot of times I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what his end game is. So in a way, I wish those weren't our two choices. But if
we had we had Gare Bear.
I know.
We had my boy Gare Bear. What's Aleppo? I say. He knew.
He had
All right.
Aleppo moment.
He had an Aleppo moment. All right. We're going to take a quick break. Everybody call in. Join the convo. 877-367-2526. Fox News Talk.
This is Fox News Talk, powered by the most trusted name in news, Fox News. More next.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-611-5153. That's 800-611-5153. 800-611-5153.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventors information, call 1-800-359-7341. That's 1-800-359-7341. Again, 1-800-359-7341.
This is Fox News Talk.
Headline Rewind.
1980.
5 seconds to the gold medal. 4 to the gold medal. This impossible dream comes true.
The jury took less than 2 hours to reach its verdict. Remarkably fast when you consider they had 33 separate murders to consider.
I can't say at this moment what other nations will not go to the Summer Olympics in Moscow. Ours will not go.
I aim to try and tap that great American spirit that opened up this completely undeveloped continent from coast to coast and made it a great nation.
This individual, Mr. Chapman, came up behind him and called to him, Mr. Lennon, and then in a combat stance, he emptied the Charter Arms .38 caliber gun that he had with him and shot John Lennon.
News as it happened, news as it happened.
This is Fox News Talk.
We've entered a new investment era, according to Craig Smith, author of Rediscovering Gold in the 21st Century. Craig, tell us about this new era.
Sure. This new investment era means taking more responsibility for our money. The 18-year bull market on Wall Street may well be over, and many analysts agree that owning gold coins is very prudent. Certain U.S. gold coins have already doubled since 1999, while most stocks appear way overvalued. I discuss this and much more in my latest Real Money Perspectives newsletter, U.S. Gold Coins, the most trusted asset on Earth.
Thanks, Craig. Read all about it in Craig's latest newsletter, free for the call at 1-800-BUY-COIN. That's 1-800-BUY-COIN. Prepare for a new investment era today by calling 1-800-BUY-COIN and requesting Craig's free newsletter. Until next time, this is an Idea Factory Minute.
Hello everybody. Aw, you came back. Thank you. Welcome to Fox News Talk. I'm Kat Timpf. I'm here with Joe DeVito, comedian, very funny guy, Joe DeVito. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having
And
me.
you could be here too if you call 877-367-2526 and we could all party together. Wouldn't that be so nice? All right. Well, Joe and I were talking a little bit in the break about President Trump's response to Jeff Flake, how he said he hated me before he knew me. And that's honestly the biggest problem that I had with his response, Joe.
Okay.
That's a criticism of not liking someone before you meet them. Isn't that what we all do as humans in this world?
Well, you can't meet everyone.
Yeah.
But you can certainly, that shouldn't get in the way of some good hatred.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of people who don't know me have told me to die, and I don't judge them for it. It's their right.
I didn't want to bring it up, Kat, but you are hated by many.
By many.
And known by so few. You're an
Yeah,
enigma.
I know, I really am. But, you know, people are always nice in public. It's on the internet where they're real mean. I always wonder if someone comes up to me on the street, I'm like, did you tell me to die? But now you just decided to say hello once you had your chance.
Well, once they see your imposing physical presence, they realize, whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't like Hillary Clinton, right? You don't like her?
Not a fan.
Never met her. I don't like her either. Never met her. But we don't know her.
Why don't we go hiking in those woods where she pops out every now and then?
Oh, gosh, just drinking mad Chardonnay. I bet you I don't know this for a fact, but I bet you her drink of choice, her DOC, is Chardonnay. Doesn't she seem...
goes for the harder stuff.
Really? Just slugging... What do you think she drinks?
I think she drinks a whiskey. She drinks some sort of brown furniture polish type liquor, and she's got a flask. And when she's out in the woods, she's haunting them in a way, like similar to the Florida skunk ape.
Well, you gotta have a flask if you're out in the woods, right? You gotta be sober in nature. What are you supposed to do?
I don't know when she's out there collecting acorns.
I guess I was sober in nature back when I was a child, but I was full of wonderment back then. I was a junior naturalist, in fact.
Oh, that's like the nude volleyball? Is that what that is?
No, it's like I went around and hiked around and looked at rocks and whatnot. I wasn't good at sports, so I had to do something.
Yeah, they had to get you outside somehow.
Have you ever had any haters?
Yeah, I had a guy who saw one of my sets on the Late Late Show, and he was a crazy person, and he thought I'd stolen a joke from him, but like hearing it through his head.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, of course you did.
Yeah, so he was, that guy was kind of scary because once I realized, this is a nut job who thinks that I've stolen a joke that he talked to his friends about. Like,
did he hit you up on Twitter or what?
Well, that's when I realized, you don't approve everyone on Facebook. It's not like MySpace, yeah.
Yeah.
And he started to cause trouble for me. I had to report him. He was creating other profiles and stuff. Yeah.
That's bananas. I mean, I've had some stalkers and stuff too, but it's always a little more sexually charged and strange. People never accuse me of stealing their material. They're like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I never get any of that, even when I want it.
No, bummer. Well, you guys, if you want to talk to me, you can. You just got to call in 877-367-2526. Thank you so much, Joe, for joining us.
Thank you. JoeDeVito.com, at Joe DeVito Comedy on Twitter and Instagram.
Check it out.
Last night we put on an epic light show.
Yeah, we did.
The crowd loved us. We love the crowd.
Wait, but there were only 4 people out there.
Yeah, but did you see their 4 faces? All 8 of their eyes lit up brighter than ours. And we're fireflies.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, that one girl, she looked like she'd never seen glow in the dark like this before, and we invented glow in the dark.
Yeah, we invented it.
And we're gonna be out here every night, rocking out our light show at a forest near you.
Woohoo!
So come check us out.
Check us out.
And bring your kid, all ages show. Oh, but don't bring any of those glass jars, because they make us kind of nervous.
Ken, I'm super claustrophobic.
Whether you're rocking their world or they're rocking yours, some memories never fade. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you and discover other cool things to do when you go, like fishing, biking, or even camping. Visit discovertheforest.org.
See you later.
Yeah, see you soon.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Wildfires burn millions of acres across the country each year. And each year, wildland firefighters battle to contain them. But they can't do it alone. For some communities, it's not a question of if wildfires strike, but when. And a single ember can travel more than 1 mile. As it twists and turns and floats through the air, that single ember can find its way to where you live and can